So this is a recording of the session we had on Thursday evening, 25th of January for the Zakaim. And I'm going to start off with going through the skills that we learned in the Mitkadmim bed class and the things that you have to know. And then I'm going to go over an article and go through it with all the answers. So the skills that we learned in Mitkadmim bed. One of the most important things we do in Mitkadmim bed is teach you how to write a paragraph. We don't do a lot of reading skills because you already know how to read English when you get to Mitkadmim bed. It's more about, we worked a little bit about how to take notes while you're reading, but really we focus on writing a paragraph, writing a good paragraph. And whenever you're writing a paragraph, the first sentence must include the main idea. Every paragraph you write, the first sentence should have the main idea. This is what you want your reader to know what they're reading about. Then you write 3 or 4 sentences that support the main idea. Again, if that's your main idea, you have to prove it, you have to show it, you have to give evidence for it. So the 3 or 4 sentences that come next support the main idea. And then, and a lot of students have a hard time with this, you repeat yourself. Your concluding sentence should restate the main idea. It doesn't have to be word for word, you can use other words, but you're giving the main idea again. Again, the point here is to make it easy for the reader. The reader wants to get the information. You're writing so the reader gets information. The reader wants to get information. Make it easy for them. Give them the main idea, support the main idea, restate the main idea. When you're writing a paragraph, keep the sentences together in one paragraph. Do not start a new line with every sentence. That's not a paragraph, that's 5 sentences. Keep it together in one paragraph. Use your own words. Use your own words, paraphrase. On the final exam, do not quote. We don't want quotes, we want your words. And in life, when you're writing, you should quote very minimally. And when you are quoting, you say where you got the information from. Okay, that's citations and references, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Okay, if you don't do that, then it's plagiarism. So don't quote, don't plagiarize, use your own words. And we don't want details or examples. We want the main idea and the supporting ideas. We want ideas, not details or examples. And that's true both on the final exam and in life. Make sure that you're using transition words. You have to put the ideas together. You have to show your reader, you have to make it easy for your reader to see how it all fits together. So put it together. Citations, I talked about this a moment ago. You have to say where you got the information from. On the final exam, there's 2 articles. So for the final exam, you can just write the first article, the second article. But in life, you have to say where you got it from. So if it's, you always have to give credit where credit is due. You always have to say where you got the information. If it's not your own idea, you have to say where you got it from. If it's one author, you just write Cohen 2023. Okay. If it's 2 authors, you write Levy and Lopez 2022. Certainly in this course, if you write A and D, we'll let it slide. The correct way to do it is with the ampersand. If it's 3 or more authors, you just write et al., which is Latin for all the others, or the others, mashu kazeh. Okay, and others, I think it is actually. So you write Levine et al., and then the year. And this is APA citations. This is the way we do it in university. Please do not write out, the article, online reviews is the best thing that for having a small business, says that. Do not give us the name of the title of the article. Give us the author of the article, or on the final exam, just write the first article, the second article. So please, please, please do not write out the whole title of the article. Okay, summarizing is we taught in the course. It's not part really of the final exam, but I want to go over it really quickly. So for summarizing, you're looking for the main idea of the article. And of course, you're going to write that in the first sentence of your summary paragraph. What's the main idea of the article? And then what are the supporting ideas? How does the author support that main idea? And you should be able to find at least three. If you can't find three, then it's not really a very good article. Do not include when you're summarizing and also on the final exam for the synthesis question. We don't want your opinion. We don't want your own ideas. We want what the authors wrote. So in a summary paragraph, when you're summarizing, do not include your own ideas. Do not include your opinion. Just report what the author wrote. The summary paragraph, the first sentence should have the main idea. Then the next 3 or 4 sentences should support the main idea. And then the last sentence should restate the main idea. And you've heard me say main idea so many times here, it's so important that it's clear to the reader what the main idea is. And that's what we're trying to do. Synthesizing, which is part of the final exam, you're taking two ideas from two sources and you're blending them together. You're synthesizing them. You may compare, you may contrast. They may be the same and they just build on each other. That's a comparison. One may say this, and the other one says the exact opposite. That's a contrast. Whatever the two articles that you have is. Here it's really important, even for summarizing, but certainly for synthesizing. You have to use good connectors. You have to let the reader know what's coming up. Are you building on the same idea now? Are you contrasting and going the other direction now? You have to let the reader know. You have to use good connectors. You have to look at the different things that might be compared or contrasted. So this is important to remember, certainly for the final exam. So, for example, what type of study is being reported on? One might be an experimental study, and one might be a longitudinal study. So you have to say that Cohen took two groups and this and that, while Lopez had only one group who looked at it before and after, or whatever the case may be. But what kind of study is it? Population. So, for example, if you have two articles, but one looked at 1-year-olds and one looked at 90-year-olds, they may not be good for synthesizing or comparing, or they may be good. If one looked at college students, 50 college students, one looked at 2,000 college students, well, that's pretty good. And you get to decide. It's up to you. So, for example, if one study looked at the college students in America and one study looked at college students in Israel, you may decide, you know what? It's not a good comparison. I can't use these together. I can't synthesize these two articles. That's fine. Or maybe you say you can. It's up to you. What was the treatment? Here they gave them pills and here they gave them music. Is it a good comparison to compare those two? Were the findings? Here they found that it didn't work, and here they found that it did work. So these are the different things you can look at to compare and contrast. And you can talk about in the synthesis paragraph. The synthesis paragraph, the first sentence should have the main idea of the two sources. The next 3 or 4 sentences should support the main idea from both articles. Make sure these ideas from both sources and cite them. Cohen says X, and Levy says Y. And the last sentence should restate the main idea. Again, I haven't changed it yet. The last sentence should always restate the main idea. You're always building and supporting and focusing on the main idea. That's what you do when you're writing. Excuse me. On the final exam, you're going to be writing one paragraph that is a synthesis of the two articles, and one paragraph that is your opinion of the two articles. When you're writing your opinion, the first sentence should include the topic and your opinion. What do you think? Because that's the main idea here. The main idea is your opinion. So give it in the first sentence. The body should give logical reasoning for your opinion. Why do you think that? It might include why you agree with the counter argument. So you have two articles that disagree with each other. You may say why you're choosing this one and not that one. Why Cohen is right and Levy is wrong. In the last sentence, once again, should repeat the main idea, which in this case is your opinion. You should repeat your opinion. That's why I think that, whatever it is that you think. This is exactly what your test is going to look like. You're going to get one packet with two articles. The first article, it's going to say article 1, and you have a spot here to write your notes. Your notes, you can write in Hebrew, you can write in Arabic, you can write in Russian, you can write in Amharic, you can even write in English if you want. It's for you. We will not see it, we will not look at it, we will not grade it. It is only for you. So you have one article with a place to write notes, and then a second article with a place to write notes. You can see that the first article was 3 pages, and the second article was 2 pages. Is that so? You should get about 5 pages, maybe 6 pages of article. That's all you have to read. You don't have to read all of it. Okay. And the second packet that you get is going to be the questions. And the first page is going to look exactly like this. It's going to say Hara'ot L'Nivchanim. First thing, there's 2 texts you have to read. I just showed that to you. The second thing it says is that there's a place to take notes. We're not going to check that. When you're answering the questions, please answer where we give you the lines to answer. Okay? Please do not answer, oh, this already has the answers in it. But you can see that there's lines here for you to answer in. So please answer on those lines. Answer only in English. Here, it has to be in English. We will not accept any answers in Hebrew. And except the opinion question, only write what's in the article. The opinion question has to be based on the article. If we can't read your answer, we can't give you credit for your answer. And you have to give back all the papers. Okay? The first question that you will be asked is evaluate the article's reliability. Okay, and we talked about this in class a lot. If you weren't in there in class, then you're going to learn it now. So over here, for evaluating the article's reliability, you can say yes and you can say no and get full credit. So there's a couple of things you have to look at. You have to look at when it was published. If it was published in the last 5 years, it's good. If it's older than more than 5 years, you could say it's not good. Okay, so for example, this article published in 2018, you could say it was published in 2018, too old, no good, unreliable. And you're done. If the article says, like, this is our second article actually says that, excuse me. If it says the articles are peer-reviewed, they're good. For example, this article says it's peer-reviewed and published in 2022. There's only one correct answer. The only correct answer is it's reliable. That's the only answer you can give here. You can't say it's not. You're not sure if it's reliable or not. It is reliable. If it's not peer-reviewed, as the first one is not peer-reviewed, then you have to decide if it's a good art, if it's where it was published is good or not. So this article is published on Forbes, and Forbes is a widely read American business magazine. Okay, articles are often written by leading members of the business community. So you have to decide if this is good or not good. Is it good news or fake news? And then you can decide that based on what you have here. And what about the author? Here, the author, Kapochia, is president of Womply, which provides digital services to small businesses. So do you think that Corey Kapochia is knowledgeable enough, is reliable enough to write about online reviews for small businesses? You have to decide. And here the article is written in 2018, so you could say automatically, no, thank you, not good enough. Or you could say, it is good enough. It hasn't changed in 6 years. It's only 1 year too old. That's up to you. You can both answer both yes and no and get full credit, depending on what you write. If the article is up to date within 5 years and it's peer reviewed, we tell you it's peer reviewed, then the only answer is it's reliable. You can't say it's not reliable if it's peer reviewed in less than 5 years. And the other article is either probably reliable or probably not reliable. You have to make a choice and justify it in a logical way. Remember, I said you have to find the main idea of the article and the supporting ideas. So the second question is going to be, according to the introduction, what issue will the article discuss? This is the main idea of the article. And then, for example, here you have the introduction, and here you have different sections, prakim, of the article. Guess what all of these prakim, all these sections do? They support the main idea. So all you have to do to answer when you're answering these questions is you're finding out how these sections support the main idea. So we ask you, what's the main idea of this section? Basically, we're asking you, how does this section support the main idea? Give the main idea of the section online reviews, so it's the next section, and the main idea of the next section. So these are all you have to do is give the main idea of each section. Now, how are you going to do that? Well, one way is you have the title. The title should give you a clue of the main idea. And you probably learned a long, long time ago. It's like, for example, we haven't read this article yet at all, but the title says Yelp can work for small businesses. Okay. And here it says, while there are certainly internet trolls out there, one of the great myths about online reviews is they're all bad. So not all online reviews are bad. 90% of customers say that they decide to buy based on positive online reviews. Small businesses have more control of their online ratings than you know. Small businesses can turn negative reviews into a second chance. So the main idea of this section is that online reviews can be very helpful for small businesses and probably also for the consumer. I didn't read any of the rest of the article, have I? But just from this, I was able to figure out the main idea. Now, obviously, it'll take you longer than it took me. I'm not saying no, but I was able to figure out the main idea pretty quickly. And you can do the same. In class, we taught you what sections of an article to read. I had students who had an 18-page article and read 5 paragraphs and understood it. Okay? So you do not need to read every word. If you want to, go ahead. But you don't need to read every word. Okay? So this is the first article. Here's the second article. Again, you have the place to write notes. We're not going to see that at all. The first question of the second article, is it reliable? So for this one, it's the Journal of Consumer Research. It says the Journal of Consumer Research is peer-reviewed. This is published in 2022. So here's only one correct answer. It's reliable. You have to say it's reliable because it was peer-reviewed, published less than 5 years ago. You're done. So if it's peer-reviewed in less than 5 years, the only answer is yes. Otherwise, you have to make a choice. Probably reliable, probably not reliable, and give a good reason for it. Okay? Hala. Again, introduction and the results. So that's the first part of the exam. Then We give you what's here, it's called the synthesis matrix. We taught it in class. If you haven't come to class and you don't know how to use this, don't worry about it. It's not graded. It's to help you, but if you know how to use it, don't worry about it. If you learn how to use it, go right ahead. The next question is, what issue do both articles address? Okay. And again, this is a pretty simple question because, for example, here the effective weather on online reviews is the second title. And here, online reviews are the best thing that ever happened to small businesses is the title. What issue do both articles address? Come on.
Online review.
Shalom got 4 points. It's that simple. Don't think we're trying to trip you up and you're going to give me too simple an answer. It is that simple. You may want to write something like, are online reviews good or bad for business? Or what's the effect of online reviews on businesses? You might want to write that. But if you just write online reviews, you'll probably get full credit. Okay? And now comes the hard part. You have to write a one-paragraph synthesis of the two articles. And we tell you, just like I said in the PowerPoint, okay, the first 2 or 3 sentences describe the issue. What's similar, what's different. Okay. Now, if you ask me, you only need 1 sentence for this, 1 or 2. And then the next 2 or 3 sentences give the evidence from the 2 articles. And in the conclusion, you restate the main idea. And you have all of this room to grade it. Okay? I'm sorry, to write it. The next question is your personal opinion. Okay? Write a short paragraph and present your opinion on the issue discussed in the articles. And it's going to say the same exact words, I think. I think we even change the words. Okay? The first sentence, state your opinion clearly. And the next sentence is give information to support your opinion. And here it says from either or both articles. For your opinion, you don't have to use both articles, but here you have to use both articles. Okay? Describe the issue of both articles. Doesn't even say that here, really should. That you have to bring in information from both articles. And then the last sentence of the opinion paragraph is sum it up, restate your opinion. Here's the rubric. This is exactly what we're looking for. And you'll see that you'll have this on the test also. Okay, you get 3 points for introduction, 3 points for supporting ideas, 3 points for a conclusion. If you want to make sure, now this is not a good way to write in the real world, but it's a good way to write for the final exam. If you want to make sure that I know where your conclusion starts, write in conclusion, and I'll understand exactly what your conclusion is. Okay? Use connectors, put the ideas together. Okay? Give me a good general statement. Online reviews can be either very good for business or very bad for business. I don't know yet. I haven't read the article yet. Well, I did, but that's not their story. Okay? Make you sure you use information from both sources. Make sure it's accurate and relevant, obviously. So the relevant here is I don't want details. And make sure you say where the information came from, which article the information came from. So you can say either Capaccio 2018 and Brandeis and Dover 2022. Or for the test, you can say the first article and the second article. Use good vocabulary, use good grammar, put it all together in one paragraph, use periods and capital letters. Okay? Don't copy. Okay, if it's copied, you'll lose points. Same thing for the opinion. Okay, it opens with your opinion, 5 points. You give relevant and accurate information for your opinion, 5 points. Final sentence sums it up, 4 points. vocabulary, grammar, mechanics. That's what we do. Okay, Chevre? Okay, so now we have a choice. If this were class, what I would do is I would put you in breakout rooms and have you read the articles on your own and answer the questions on your own. But we may not have enough time to do that. So this is a democracy. You tell me, you want me to do it with you, or do you want to do it on your own and work it out on your own? What do you guys prefer? Up to you. No opinion. Okay, if I'm not getting any opinion, then what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to, I will do it with you for you. Okay, so the first question here, it was published in Forbes, which is a widely read business magazine. The writer is president of a digital services business for digital services for small businesses. It was published in 2018. So just give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you think it's reliable? I think it's Amin. I have mixed reviews. Okay. So I can either write, since Mr. Capoccia runs a business that helps small businesses with digital services. And since online reviews is part of this, and it is published in Forbes, a widely read magazine. I think it is reliable. Okay, and you can see, if you ever came to class also, I'm a horrible typist. Or I could write, the article is more than 5 years old, so it is not reliable. And both of those get you full credit. Okay? So there's not just one possible answer here. Both answers are fine. It's possible that you'll find a teacher who says that because it's more than 5 years old, you should have just said unreliable. I don't think so. If that happens, you come to me and I'll take care of it for you. Okay? According to the introduction, what issue will the article discuss? And here we're told, since its founding in 2004, Yelp has become a major force in local commerce. Okay, and it proves that to me. I'm going to skip that part. Yelp's rise hasn't come without controversy, with some arguing it's not fair to put small business reputations on display online. Okay, so that's the negative part of Yelp. The truth is, Yelp didn't create Web 2.0 movement that enabled everyday internet users to create content and share it with the whole world. What Yelp did, however, is to harness shifts in consumer behavior to create the best marketing channel of all time for local businesses. In fact, if you run a small business today, probably the single most important thing you can do to attract new customers is to take control of your online review score on sites like Yelp, Google My Business, Foursquare, and TripAdvisor. Okay, so I'm going to say that the issue in the introduction is Yelp and other online reviews are very important to small businesses. Okay? Any questions how I did that? הבנתם? בסדר? Okay, I didn't read every word. I read 4 sentences. Okay. I want you to guess if it says mobile is driving local, which is not a clear title at all. I want you to guess. What do you think they're talking about here? So Noah is reading it, cheating. She's not going only by the title. That's okay. So Noah, what do you think?
אני.
You're the only Noah here?
אמ, אני אמורה לענות בעברית או באנגלית?
תני בעברית. כאן זה
אוקיי.
בסדר עברית.
אולי שטלפונים, בגלל שכאילו הם זזים, אז זה יהיה טוב גם להרבה מקומות?
יפה. Since everyone has a smartphone, they can report on local businesses very easily. Okay, you got it. That's all you have to do, is understand what they're talking about. Okay. If you don't believe me, Noah, and I, okay, it says here nowadays everyone has the internet in their pocket all the time. This changes everything for small business. This dramatic shift in technology adoption has led to a similar dramatic shift in consumer behavior. For small businesses, this means iconic physical storefronts have been replaced by many digital ones. Okay? What you could also say here very easily is another way of saying it. Okay.
בחלק הזה זה בסדר להעתיק ציטוט מהטקסט, או שצריך לרשום את זה כדעה אישית?
אני לא זוכר בעל פה. Think you can. מה כתוב לנו כאן? Copy pasting a specific sentence that clearly expresses the main idea gets full marks. So yes, Mutar. Good question, Yam. Thank you. But copy pasting chunks of text that might also include a main idea gets 0 marks. So never do 2 sentences. Keep it to 1 sentence or less. Okay, if you write 2 sentences and one's right, one's wrong, you'll get 0 points. Because as I always say, this is not a multiple choice test for me. Okay. The next section, online review sites guide consumer choice. In the past, small businesses had to rely on inefficient push methods to attract new customers. When a consumer uses a review platform like Yelp or Google My Business, the decision and urgency to buy are exactly what prompted the person's search. If you're looking for a new restaurant or find a mechanic, what do? You get a recommendation from friends or family. You also probably do a near me search on Yelp, Google, or OpenTable. Okay, so they're telling me here that consumers use online reviews to decide where they should go. Um, Noah, I have no idea what you just wrote to me. Sorry, I'm not understanding.
בטעות, סליחה. זה היה אמור להיות בצ'אט פרטי. שאלנו האם תשלח את כל מה שהצגת אחר כך בסוף.
כמובן. Thank you, Noah.
תודה.
Consumers use online reviews to decide which businesses to use. Okay. The main idea of Yelp can work for your small business. One of the great myths about online reviews is that they're all bad. 90% of customers say they decide what to buy is influenced by positive online reviews. Small businesses have more control of online star ratings than they know. Small businesses can turn negative reviews into a second chance. Small businesses use online reviews to uncover legitimate blind spots. If you're running a small business, it's time to embrace online review sites and use them to your advantage. Okay, so actually this is a very good way of summing it up. That you can use online reviews to your advantage. So I can take that, pop it in over here, and I have my answer. Okay? If you want, you don't absolutely have to, you can put it in quotes. Okay? Any questions, people? We're all good? Okay, so as I told you earlier, this article was published in a peer-reviewed journal. It's from 2022. There's only one answer. It's reliable. That's the only answer you can give here. Say again? Questions? What I'm going to do, by the way, is I'm going to keep going with this, and then I'm going to ask you to write the paragraph, or at least write ideas for the paragraph. Because this is the easy part. This you learned how to do in Mitkadmim Aleph or in high school. This is reading comprehension. You know how to do this. Writing the paragraph is the harder part. So I'm going to ask you to work on that. Okay? And if everyone could tell me, go into the chat, because I have 4 people with not even a camera on. I don't know if you're here or not. Just let me know in the chat that you're here. Just write hello, Ken, thumbs up, just a period. I don't care. And Yam and Noah, obviously I know that you're here. I see you. Okay. According to the introduction, what issue will the article discuss? Online product reviews can become a key source of information for consumers. have a major influence on consumer decision-making and product sales. We hypothesize that the weather at the location where the customer wrote their review affects the control of the content of that review. Wow, okay. Why do we expect that weather conditions around the time of writing the review affect online reviews of past consumption? The expectation was built on evidence that bad weather, such as rain or snow, has a direct negative influence on individuals' feelings. Regarding the actual decision to write a review, prior research shows that bad weather conditions, such as rain, increase the attractiveness of indoor activities, make people more productive in general. Okay. So the introduction is basically telling me online reviews can be influenced by the weather. Okay, kind of weird if you ask me, but I've heard of weirder things. The main section of the results. Well, this is only one paragraph. Because only one paragraph, I'm going to read the whole thing. Results from more than 3 million bookings and almost 300,000 associated reviews over more than 12 years shows that bad weather affects both review content and the likelihood of a review being written. Rain at a consumer's residential address on the day of review provision reduced rating scores by about 0.1 points. This is a large effect as it can result in a 5-star hotel being demoted to 4 stars. Additionally, bad weather increased the likelihood of reviewers actually writing a review. It should be noted that these results were shown to be independent of the weather during the customer's stay at the hotel. So apparently they looked at people when they got home, not at the hotel. Kind of weird if you ask me, but okay. When it is raining, people are more likely to write a review and to write a bad review. That's really weird to me, but okay. Managerial relevance. Businesses that actively manage their online reputation in various ways. According to our findings, businesses should not send emails to customers requesting reviews on bad weather days. And from our work, it's clear that even a relatively short rain spell of 3 to 4 days across the country or region has a substantial impact on the hotel's set of relevant reviews from customers. Our results also help individual businesses understand certain patterns and fluctuations in their online reviews. Okay. Managers should not ask for reviews when it is raining. The customers home. Okay, that's a weird one, but okay. Now, Jan, you already told me earlier what issue do both articles address?
Again,
Again,
the online reviews.
okay, can you be a little bit more specific?
About how online reviews affect small businesses.
Okay, I disagree with you a little bit. I would probably give full credit for that. But I disagree with you a little bit. Businesses can change or improve. Okay, now I would probably give full credit for that first answer, but I think it has more to do with how the power of the small business. But potato, potato, all good. Okay, so now I'm going to ask all of you. Okay, Lihi or Dennis, are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to either write or be able to tell me a 5 sentences. It was 5 sentences. You know what? I'll even take it in Hebrew. I'll take it in Hebrew and I'll do the translation. No problem. Okay. I want you to give me one sentence of an introduction. What's this paragraph about? What are these two articles about? And then give me 2 or 3 sentences from both of the articles, and then just one sentence. Of a conclusion. Okay? You want to try that? You can put it in the chat in Hebrew. Completely fine with that. בסדר?
זה לא כמו התשובה לשאלה הקודמת, כאילו המשפט הראשון?
Lihi got it. Yay, Lihi. נכון. צודקת ב100%. You can go right back here, Lihi, and say, online reviews affect small businesses, both good and bad. Or small businesses can change or improve their online reviews. That is perfectly fine. I will leave out the word how that I started both sentences with, but other than that, you got it. עשיתם כותבים? Thank you so much. Can everyone go to the group chat and just give me a thumbs up and tell me that it's okay? Need any help? Do you need help? I can go into a breakout room with you and help you. ים סיימת?
I think.
אוקיי. נועה, ליהי, אור, דניס, מה קורה איתכם?
אני פספסתי התחלה, אז אני...
אוקיי, אז חבל, אבל יהיה הקלטה מחר כבר. אני אשלח לכם קישור להקלטה מחר,
תודה רבה.
אבל בעיקרון, דניס, היית כאן כשעברתי על שתי המאמרים? דניס?
מה אמרת?
היית כאן כשעברתי על שתי המאמרים?
לא, הייתי רק כבר בשאלה 4-5.
אוקיי, בסדר.
אתה גם מצרף קבצים או שרק...
ודאי. אני גם אשלח אותם היום בסוף השיעור בצ'אט. אני כבר סירבתי אחד, אם לא היית אז לא קיבלת את זה, אני אשלח לך שוב. לא שלחתי. עכשיו קיבלתם את זה. אז זה היה פאורפוינט שעשיתי עם כל המידע.
המבחן הוא סך הכל שני הטקסטים האלה, לענות על שאלות והקטעי כתיבה, הפסקאות,
Yep. That's it.
ויש דוגמאות למבחנים? כאילו, אפשר למצוא את זה איפשהו?
So, that's not what I wanted. שניונת. אוקיי, אז ליהי, באיזה קורס את? כבר יכול לדעת בעצמי. ליהי משיח, את ב-1-7, אוקיי. היי. אז בקורס שלך, ליהי, כתוב כאן, final exam preparation. אוקיי, אז אצלך בקורס, את אמורה, אני אעיר את זה שוב, אז זה הקורס, זה אתר הקורס, כאן יש Learning Resource Center, וכאן בצד שמאל, אחת האפשריות זה Final Exam Preparation.
Thank you.
אז כאן יש כל מה שאמרנו, הנה השאלות הסטנדרטיות כמו שהראיתי לכם, הנה practice exam, המאמרים, השאלות והתשובות. אוקיי?
Thank you.
Thank you, Lihi. And all the courses have that. I just showed it on this course because this is Lihi's course. Okay, Hebra, are you all done? Can you send me what you wrote so that in the chat so that I can create a synthesis here? ים, אפשר לשלוח מה שכתבת? נועה, אפשר לשלוח מה שכתבת? ליהי, כתבת משהו? מי?
לא, אני לא כתבתי.
לא כתבת, אוקיי. אור, כתבת משהו?
לא.
לא. לא. אוקיי, נועה, כתבת משהו? נועה?
No, I had to move.
אז היית מקוטעת עכשיו, אבל בהתחלה שמעתי no, אז אני מבין שלא כתבת. אוקיי, ים, כתבת משהו?
בגדול.
אוקיי, אז אפשר לשלוח את זה בצ'אט?
כן, אני אשתך שנייה. אני אשתך בעברית שהיא יותר מהיר.
אין בעיה. אני יכול לקרוא עברית. לכתוב זה סיפור אחר, אבל לקרוא אני יכול. דרך אגב, נועה, אפשר לשאול שאלה? כתב קודם שזה לא אמור להיות כאן, אבל לא כתבו אף הודעה בפורום. איזה פורום לא כתבו הודעה? כי מוזר לי.
נשאלה אם יש קבוצה של הקורס. קבוצת וואטסאפ, כאילו.
אוקיי.
אז אמרתי שלא ראיתי, אבל שמישהי כתבה בפורום שיש קבוצה.
נועה, בשבילך, את אצלי. אז יש פורום לקורס, וכתבתי משהו שם, לא? פורום חדשות. אוקיי. אוקיי, נועה, go ahead. אוקיי, אז זה מה שים כתב לי.
שנייה, אני שולח גם סיכום.
אוקיי, בסדר. Thank you, Yam. Okay, I want to point something out here that Yam did, and Yam, הכל בסדר, באמת הכל בסדר כאן. ותודה לך שעשית את זה, כי עכשיו זה נותן לי להראות לכולם. כאן ים עשה הפסקה בין המשפטים, ולכן זה לא גוש פסקה אחת, זה 3 פסקאות. וזה בדיוק מה שאמרתי לו לעשות. אז באמת ים, תודה, כי כאן המקום לעשות טעויות כאלו. אבל במבחן סוף, נוריד לך על זה. אז אל תעשה בבקשה במבחן. Okay, so I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to copy and paste. Online reviews affect small businesses. I'm going to write a little bit more than that. Okay. Online reviews can affect small businesses, both for the good and for the bad. Okay, I just want to make it a little bit, give more information. Okay. And now Yam tells me שני משפטים להסביר כמה נרשם, כמו שנרשם בשאלות למעלה. הסבר מהטקסט הראשון זה שביקורת אונליין משפיעות מאוד על דירוג של עסקים קטנים ומשפיעים עליהם מאוד. אוקיי. בסדר.
לא רשמתי את זה כפסקה, רשמתי כמשפטים בגדול ממה שרשמנו למעלה, אבל זה אצלך עדיין.
אז הנה הראשון. אז איזה מהם כדאי לי לקחת? אוקיי. אפשר לקחת את זה. אפשר לקחת את זה. אוקיי. ומה שאני צריך לעשות, זה להגיד גם כן את הכותב. אז מי היה הכותב הראשון? אני לא זוכר בעל פה. קפוצ'יה. Capoccia, 2018, tells us that since everyone has a smartphone that can report on local businesses easily, consumers use online reviews to decide which businesses to use. Okay. And now that's 2 sentences. I only need 3 or 4. This is Brandy's in Dover, 2022. מה כתבת כאן? מהטקסט השני, שהביקורת שמושפעת ממזג אוויר גם משפיעות על העסקים, ולכן עדיף לא לבקש ביקורת בתנאי מזג אוויר. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go back to the beginning of the sentence. I'm gonna write an example of a negative effect reported by Brandeis and Dover is that when it is raining, people are more likely to write a bad review. They suggest that owners do not ask for reviews when it is raining. Okay? And we could have done copy paste here also, probably. We basically did use the same words pretty much. And basically saying, you know, as Yam said, it's copy paste. Now, one thing we have to do is we have to give a conclusion sentence, okay? So again, there's a first sentence that describes the issue in both articles, okay? And that I did here. Then the evidence in 2 or 3 sentences. I did over here. And now I have to give a conclusion. Okay, Chavra? So I know I make it look easy because I do this all the time. I get that. But my point is it's not difficult. It is not difficult. Don't get worried, okay? Make the most important thing for you to do, okay, all the questions at the beginning, I can't give you much information there. You just have to read it and write the main idea. One sentence, main idea. It's pretty straightforward. Here for this part, which is I think 32 or 34 points, Mashukazeh, is make sure that you have the first sentences in introduction, then 2 or 3 sentences or 4 sentences that talk about what you wrote about, and then that you have a concluding sentence that goes back to the main idea. That is the most important thing. Okay? Again, make sure that you follow these directions. We give you the directions on the test. Follow them. Okay? The first sentence has to introduce it. Then you have to prove what you said in the first sentence. Use citations. And then go back to the main idea again and go over it, restate it. So here the main idea is online reviews affect small businesses, and the importance of online reviews and how business owners can take charge of them. Okay? So I repeated to myself. Very, very important. Very important. Okay. If, for example, you mess up and don't give right where it came from, the first article, the second article, whatever, I think it's Sakakol 3 points, 2 points. Okay. So it's chaval on the 2 points, just right. The first article says, the second article says, but lo nora. Okay. But it's really important that you, I mean, it's 12 points, 9 points for the introduction, body, and conclusion. Make sure you have those. That's gonna make you pass or not pass. Okay, and then connect things well so that it makes sense. Okay. Make sure you have a general statement from both articles, from both sources. Okay. So I said for good and for the bad. Because the first one is more about the good and the second one is more about the bad. Although chances are, if you just wrote this, you'd probably get full credit also. Probably. I'm not making any promises. Okay. Information from both sources is compared and contrasted. Okay. So here, by writing an example of a negative effect, I'm tying it back to the first article. So I'm using the second article as a way to tell the effect from the first article. Information is accurate and relevant. Okay, so I didn't give any details here. I didn't give any examples here. I just wrote the ideas. To locate which article information came from. So that's the Brandeis and Dover. And the Cappuccino. Right? Vocabulary. I don't have any simple way to give you the vocabulary. The grammar. I don't have a simple way to give you the grammar. But here, the line spacing. Don't you dare. Don't you dare go like this. Because that drives us crazy. Okay? Do not separate all of the sentences. Don't do it. Okay? Punctuation. The first word of every sentence is, sorry, that's capitalization. Capitalization, the first word of every sentence is capitalized. Names get capitalized. Punctuation. Use a period at the end of every sentence. You may or may not need a comma in the middle of sentences. You could probably get away without using any commas. And the line spacing. Okay? Now, we have to write our opinion. Okay? So can you guys please open up your microphones and just give me an idea of what I should write as the opinion? What's the opinion here? Cool. Okay. This is a very bad audience. Come on. No personal opinion at all? Yo, you guys are killing me. Okay, state your opinion clearly. by the way, just want to let you know that spelling does not count on the test. You can spell it however you want. We don't count spelling at all, as long as we can read it, obviously. But we know that it's a test, and we know that it's hard for students, so spelling does not count at all. Okay? That's the good news.
יש לנו גם מילונית, נכון?
נכון, כן. אבל אל תשתמשי בזה לבדוק את הכתיבה הנכונה. תבדוק את המילה הנכונה, אבל לא לכתוב את זה נכון. לא כדאי לכם, כי זה לא, ממילא זה לא יזיק. Okay?
סבבה.
Okay, now I have to give, why do I think that every small business should hire a digital advertising firm? Okay? I'm going to say here that online reviews can be very important to small businesses, perhaps even helping them to survive or not survive. Okay. The first article, which was Cappuccio, Cappuccia. And again, you can just write the first article. It's perfectly okay. Tells us that many consumers use online reviews to decide which businesses they should buy from. It is important to know how to ask for reviews to get good ones. The second article tells us that even the weather can change. Now, again, what you always want to do is you want to restate the first sentence. You have to say it again. Okay, sum up the whole paragraph and give a conclusion. And I want you to restate the first sentence. So if the first sentence says that every small business should hire a digital advertising firm, I'm going to say here, a digital advertising firm can help small businesses have good online reviews. This will help them thrive as a business and make it successful. Okay, obviously you do not have to put it in colors like I did here. I did that only to show you. Although if you want, if it helps you and you have the highlighters with you, go ahead, I don't care. But make sure you get all three parts. That's what we're really looking for. We're looking for good writing, and good writing always has all three parts. Okay? שאלות, חבר'ה?
כן, יש לי שתי שאלות.
Please.
אחד, רשמת based on the two articles. בפתיחה.
Yes.
זה הכוונה בלרשום את הדעה, שזה צריך להיות מבוסס על המאמרים או עצמאי?
You have to do it based on the articles, yes.
אוקיי, והשאלה השנייה, בחרת נושא שהוא קצת, הוא קשור לנושא של המאמרים, אבל הוא קצת שונה. כאילו פיתחת את הנושא, זה גם הכוונה שאנחנו נעשה?
The reason I did that is I didn't know what to write. I didn't have an opinion about the articles because the articles are just there. So I had to come up with something that I can have an opinion on. Also, part of opinion is that you have to be able to fight back against me. It has to be the other side. So I could write an opinion that says that every small business owner has to learn how to do this himself and not hire somebody. And I can make the argument why it's important for them to know exactly what's going on because they're most in touch with their customers. So I needed something that I can write an opinion on that you could argue the other side as well.
אוקיי, great.
But yeah, I mean, I did it because there wasn't much there to write about when I write about. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Yam. ליהי, את בסדר?
בסדר גמור.
אור, אתה בסדר? אור? Was that a Ken?
כן,
Okay, very good.
כן.
And Dennis, הכל בסדר?
כן, הכל טוב.
Okay, מעולה. So next week, I'm going to have another session. I'm going to bring another article, another 2 articles, and you can work on it on your own. Also, what you can do, you now have my email because you got an email from me, is if you do the articles on your course's site, you can send them to me and I will tell you how I would grade it. So I already showed it, I think it was Leahy who asked. I don't remember for sure. So all of the sites have it somewhere. If you're in for sciences, it's preparation for the final exam right here. If you're in your own course, you can find it. If you can't find it, let me know and I'll send it to you. If you want to try and do it on your own and send it to me, I will grade it for you. And then you can see exactly where you stand. Okay? בסדר, חבר'ה?
אתה יכול אולי שבוע הבא לשלוח לנו את המאמרים לפני שנקרא אותם ובשיעור כאילו נהיה מוכנים פעם?
Okay, you got it. Done.
תודה.
בכיף. Okay? So we're done a little bit early.
אז
Or
אנחנו... כן, שומע אותי טוב?
you're very מקוטע. You want to write it in the chat
אני
maybe?
קצת גולש מהטלפון. אוקיי, אני שומע.
Or אתה עדיין כותב?
כן.
אוקיי. הכל בסדר? הכוונה שנוכל להוריד את המבחן לדוגמה שיש באתר ונשלח לך שתעבור עליו? Yes. Exactly. זה הכוונה. זה מה שאמרתי, זה לא כוונה, זה מה שאמרתי.
אוקיי.
אם אתה מוריד את זה ועושה את זה, אני אבדוק לך את זה.
אוקיי, מעולה.
אוקיי. בסדר?
כן.
אוקיי,
תודה רבה.
חבר'ה.
תודה רבה לך.
תודה רבה.
שיהיה לכם שבת שלום.
שבת שלום, תודה.
תודה לכם.
תודה לך.